This is a personal message to South African fans.
Oh.
I want to apologise to absolutely none of you because you won a World Cup in the most uncompetitive eras in 1995 and 2007 because 2019 was just a fraud. You're still trying to grab some credibility from the Stone Age back in your World Cup years. And there's a reason why you get 50 players to each game because the Boks are mid.
Completely agree with you, Kieran, if you were talking about Ireland.
At least we fill out the stadiums. I mean, you look at South Africa, the mid box.
Yeah, you're not even Irish. You're an England fan.
Well, I just wanted to say,
in the mid box in Fraud City, courtesy of Mid TV, is the reason why South Africa are never going to get into the next two World Cup finals.
you talk about us winning a World Cup in the Stone Age. Well, England won a World Cup in 2003. You never talk about your own team. You hopped on the Irish bandwagon after they won the Grand Slam. You predicted them to come second in the Six Nations. You had no high hopes for them, no high regard, right? South Africa won 3 World Cups after missing out on 2. We're the greatest World Cup team of all time, and that's not up for discussion.
You're frauds.
Let's just address this very, very quickly. World Rugby are coming up with 5 different reasons why South Africa should have lost the game. I made a video not long ago saying that South Africans cheated their way into the semi-finals. I admit on this account I got it wrong, and it takes a big person to admit when they got it wrong, especially going live on social media and admitting it. I got it wrong and I fully take it back what I said. How South Africa have got treated with the whole Ryan Act situation and World Rugby, who is very French dominated at the moment in the World Cup, and French bias is not right, and it needs to be addressed. Who really cares about this game anymore? France have gone out, South Africa through to the final, makes a massive spectacle, England versus South Africa tomorrow, and we're still focusing on the quarterfinals. This is what makes rugby so interesting, is that decisions go your way and sometimes don't go your way. In the game, there were decisions that I thought, you know what, that could have gone the other way, and it was wrong in my mind. The game was interesting because of those small margins where you disagree, and that's why fans are so addicted to the sport. I fully stand with South Africa on this matter and the Ryan Act situation, and I will continue to show my support for them, but I do love the rivalry, and that is going to continue. I fully stand with South Africa, and the France and the World Rugby have stepped over the line. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, when will this end? South African are twisting the story massively, stating that I wanted to call out Eben Etzebeth with the gloves are off. Let me clarify what I meant, because it's getting so twisted. I am not calling out one of the greatest players to ever play the game. In fact, the other day I said he was the greatest forward to ever step on the pitch. I have nothing but respect for the absolute, just honestly, incredible player. I am solely building hype for the games where people get it so twisted. That phrase there, the gloves are off, are used in boxing. Boxing, they say gloves are off when they sit down at a table and have a conversation. I would love to have a conversation with Eben Etzebeth, almost like a documentary, get a film crew in, bosh. It would do numbers. Me meeting Eben Etzebeth in South Africa would be crazy. It would be an absolute honour, in fact. I do not have anything against him, I have nothing but respect, and he is an absolute legend of the game. Let's make it happen. I want to meet him, talk about it, and do some content. I don't want to scrap Eben Etzebeth. 32-12 was the score between these two teams 4 years ago in Japan in that final. Sia Khaleesi and the South African team lifted the trophy, and England's fairy tale came to an end. 32-12 will be remembered as one of the greatest games ever for the Springboks, but it comes to an end tomorrow. Tomorrow, the South African nation will be sent into silence when England, and Owen Farrell in particular, ends the fairy tale of the Springboks. 2019 revenge story happens tomorrow and will go down in the history books as one of the greatest sporting events ever. The comeback, the story, the underdog. The Springboks have all the pressure on them to get that 4th World Cup, but this man, the man that's haunted them for years, is coming to end that in France. Maro versus Eben, Farrell Libok, Tuolangi versus Dialende. Tomorrow, I collect my W and end this TikTok rugby once and for all. Springboks Bottle Box will be beaten tomorrow, and I become the king of rugby TikTok. The day after reaction of South Africa beating England yesterday in France. 2019 repeat happened again, and I'm honestly broken after like 4 years of hurt. England didn't deserve to go out. South Africa just scraped, and I mean really did scrape a win against England by a point. The ref handed South Africa the game, and to be honest, I'm not impressed by South Africa's performance yesterday. Libok came off, Rassie panicked. Rassie really did panic yesterday. We saw a glimpse of Rassie having cracks in his armour. Man, I hope the All Blacks demolish South Africa next week. I hope they really humble this country. All Blacks and the New Zealand country, I stand with you. I stand with you, and let's end this South African fairy tale. Let's have one more week of just hype and energy, and let's take on the Springboks on social media for one last time. They didn't deserve it. They really didn't. Make sure you stay tuned this week because this is going to be the biggest week on rugby and I have some huge plans. South Africa will go down as the worst team in history. Come on, the All Blacks. Springboks South Africa's World Cup is laid out here. You have made it past my beloved Ireland. You have knocked out France, the hosts. You have beaten my England yesterday. There is one last hope. One last time that we're going to run it back and try and beat the Springboks this Saturday. World Cup final, biggest stage ever. I am fully with the All Blacks and the All Blacks will beat the Springboks this Saturday and prove why they are the greatest team in rugby ever. On the biggest stage, on the biggest night of the Springboks' life to go back to back in the first time ever, they will be the biggest bottle jobs ever. I am making an early prediction. The All Blacks will win by 12 points. Bowden Barrett masterclass in the making. This man here will go down as an average World Cup captain. And on Saturday, we'll be saying, see ya later, mate. Handing the All Blacks the World Cup trophy. And finally, Kieran W's. I have bought a Springboks jersey and I'm wearing it. I never thought this day would come. I didn't... This does not feel right. This does not feel right at all. Can't believe it. I stuck to my word though. No one can question my enthusiasm and that I stick to my word. I have put a Springboks jersey on and this is painful as an English fan that has just lost a semi-final against the Springboks. A bet is a bet and I put it on. I think it looks quite good though. I think the fit, you know, I look good in green. I don't know what you guys think, but this is... Oh no. The fact that I know I'm going to get like a million stitches over this just because I'm wearing a Springboks jersey. But it's been 8 months of going at the Springboks and there's one more game to go. I will be wearing this for the final. But I do have one thing to say. I will be supporting the Springboks. Because every time I support against them, they win. So if I support them, they're going to lose. South Africa, let's unite together. Up the box. Up the Springboks. You know what this means now. Bottle box are coming to town. South Africa 29, France 28. Once again, the Springboks have done it. And they cheated their way through the whole game. Eben Etzebeth should have got a red card, head on head. It's not the same for Tom Curry though, is it? They were lucky. This is a lucky result. That's a World Championship team barely beating a France team without Entermac. This is an embarrassing result for South Africa. I cannot believe they got further than Ireland and it doesn't sit right with me. And mid-box, literally mid-box. How did they do that? They literally, hands in the ruck every single second. The referee was wanting them to win. And this is a World Championship team not even beating France by a point. There's not a team on this planet I hate more than the South Africans. I can't stand them. Their fans, everything. I hope when they come against England, 2019 is revenge time and England win. Because England are coming under the radar. Honestly, luckiest win ever. Literally. It doesn't sit right with me. And after Ireland lost, this really doesn't sit right with me. Come on, England! Half-time result, my reaction. Here we go, England, 12-6 at half-time. Owen Farrell is the man. He is the guy. South Africa look lost. They're looking around going, see us, say something, say something. They don't know what they're doing. Scrums are going to absolutely abysmal. The maul is just absolutely devastating. And England have come to play. South Africa are getting humbled in 40 minutes time. This is my half-time reaction. England are coming to beat South Africa. Springboks, bottle box, rubbish box. Honestly, dreadful. 4 years of hurt for England is 40 minutes away from ending. And South Africa was sent into silence this evening. South Africa are down and they're losing to a team that no one even saw getting out the groups. This is a World Championship side. And I cannot wait to call out every single Springboks player, fan, everything after this game. Make sure you join this live after this. Because honestly, Kieran will become the biggest W in history. The Springboks get knocked out in a semi-finals 40 minutes from now. Huge. I am so done. How did we lose that? How did we lose that? They were not even good in the game. They just weren't good. Honestly, this rattles me. I think I'm going to delete my account. The ref handed them the game. It's actually disgusting how the ref just gave them that game like that. Boom. I mean, credits to Pollard, because I said he was the guy to win South Africa a World Cup. Another 4 years of hurt. South Africa, you weren't good. Don't get gassed. You weren't even impressive. You looked mid. Your scrum was awful. Your line out was dreadful. Don't be impressed by that. That's not a World Championship team. But I have no words for how poor that refereeing was. Libbok going off at half-time, I thought, damn, we've got this. I pray for the All Blacks to beat them in the final. Honestly, bottle box next week. Damn.